Right now at 6, an economic discussion brings Oklahoma's lieutenant governor to Ottawa County.
Plus, we have a frigid Friday ahead of us. I'll have all the details coming up.
Plus, a Southeast Kansas community leader clarifies plans for union workers on the city payroll.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chloe Arroyo. It is so cold. I think I need to warm up or something, or start jogging.
I know, jog in place a little bit,
maybe
do some
get
jumping jacks.
Warm up. My joints are stiff, everything. The cold just does that to me.
It really does, especially with that wind this morning too that hit me. I mean, I'm just I wish that I could do the news in my winter jacket this morning, just a little bit. I won't do that to you folks at home, but
hey,
I'm
casual
wishing I
Friday.
could. Right.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah. Well, I hope you guys are bundling up at the very least, especially as you're heading out to that work commute. Kiddos heading out to school this morning. It's going to be a cold one. In fact, those temperatures are in the lower 20s right now. We still have that northwesterly wind along with us. Iola at 21 degrees, Yates Center at 22. So those temperatures are still on the downward trend. We're still continuing to see that because that cold front is still pushing through. So believe it or not, some folks haven't even reached their low for tonight quite yet. We've got those winds upwards of 10 to 15 miles per hour, and that's going to make our feel-like temperatures over the next couple of hours in the single digits. Nevada feeling like 8 degrees, as well as Stockton and Lamar. Iola, Yates Center, you guys are in the same boat. A whopping 8 degrees. That's what it's going to feel like this morning in the next couple of hours. So really continuing to track that. We've got those colder temperatures this afternoon as well. So we're still going to feel like the 20s later on this afternoon. So it won't warm up much from there. So we've got winds upwards of 10 to 15 miles per hour consistently, maybe some nearing the 20 mile per hour range, and wind gusts upwards of 35 miles per hour. In the next couple of hours, we'll slowly start to see that die down into the 20 to 15 mile per hour range, and that'll slowly start to dissipate later on this afternoon. But the morning to mid-morning hours and early afternoon hours, we're still going to have that wind along with us. As the kiddos are heading off to school, 23 degrees is your temperature, but your feel-like temperature, again, in the single digits. This afternoon, we're only reaching up into the 30s, so we're still going to be cold throughout the afternoon, so really keep that in mind. So what we're tracking, a frigid Friday, calm weekend ahead, and coming up in a bit, I'm going to talk more about Christmas Eve rain and, sadly, Christmas Day rain as well. I'll have all of those details coming up.
All right, Chloe, thanks. Well, a woman from Southeast Kansas is recovering after a serious crash in Jasper County. Now, the crash occurred around 5:50 p.m. Wednesday at West 7th Street and Black Cat Road. Authorities say Brandy Duvall of Joplin was traveling north when she failed to yield and T-boned a vehicle, causing it to overturn. Duvall was arrested at the scene and transported to the Jasper County Jail. Authorities have charged her with felony DWI causing serious physical injury and failure to yield involving a motor vehicle crash. The driver of the T-boned vehicle, a Baxter Springs woman, was transported to a Joplin hospital suffering serious injuries. And now you can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, and sports with the KOAM TV Plus streaming app. It's available on Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV Plus, and Roku. The player is also available on our news and weather apps as well as our website. Watch live streaming anytime, absolutely free. The KOAM Plus TV streaming app. Well, staff and workers in the Donald E. Clark Justice Center will experience a planned power disruption this morning. Now, that includes the Joplin Police Department. And during that time, the public will not have access to the building. Staff will be working with contractors to replace the main electrical switchgear, which dates back to 1967 when the building was constructed. The disruption will not affect police patrol or fire operations. The city manager of Coffeyville, Kansas, says he will not be presenting a recommendation to city commissioners last night about the city's relationship with local unions. Now, this comes after a letter sent to city employees received backlash from unions for drawing into question the future of unions in Coffeyville. Now, in the letter, the city manager said he would ask the city to reconsider the city's recognition of the Public Employer-Employee Relations Act, a state labor board program that cities or counties chose to be a part of. Now, the city manager says he wasn't trying to stop unions in Coffeyville, only the state program.
Look, I don't want to just throw things down people's throats. I want to have conversation. We want to be better here in Coffeyville. And so we turned it off. As soon as there was a major issue, it's like, okay, let's slow down. Let's approach this differently. Let's have conversation.
Now, union leaders say they are now taking part in discussions with the city manager. And in a statement to KOAM, one union president says, quote, "We believe this resolution reflects the value of collaboration and communication in addressing complex issues." Well, the Lieutenant Governor of Oklahoma, Matt Pinnell, was in Miami yesterday, where he spoke at the final Chamber Connect luncheon of 2024. The event was held at NEO A&M College to encourage economic development in Ottawa County. Pinnell spoke to elected officials, educators, and tribal leaders that were in attendance. And one of the fields Pinnell says he sees expanding and bringing jobs to Oklahoma is the aerospace industry, rather. The event was an opportunity to address concerns and gain support on economic development in Ottawa County.
Keep our homegrown boys and girls in these communities, but also help drive some more business to this area of the state, help create more sales tax revenue as well.
The event was hosted by the Miami Regional Chamber of Commerce. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. The national average price for a gallon of gas has gone up ahead of the holiday travel rush. Plus, a government shutdown nears as the House of Republicans fails to pass spending measures. And Chloe Arroyo returns with another look at your Friday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Well, topping Nation Watch this morning. After weeks of decreases, the national average price for a gallon of gas has reversed course. Now, the price has gone up 2 cents since last week to $3.04 per gallon. Now, for electric vehicle drivers, the price to charge at public stations stayed flat. Now, this comes as millions of Americans prepare to fuel up for holiday road trips. According to AAA, 107 million people are forecast to travel by car this holiday season. The U.S. economy grew at an even faster pace this summer than previously reported. The Commerce Department's final estimate found all goods and services produced in the economy rose at an annualized rate of 3.1% in the third quarter. Now, that's up from the previous estimate of 2.8%. Now, the revised gross domestic product figure factored in stronger consumer spending and higher exports. Consumer spending accounts for 70% of the U.S. economy. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell praised this persistent strength after announcing the third consecutive rate cut on Wednesday. Well, the nation is hurtling closer to a government shutdown at midnight after House Republicans failed to push through their own spending measure Thursday. Democrats and a sizable amount of Republicans opposed the bill. Now, it came after House GOP leaders scrapped a larger bipartisan agreement to keep the government open after tech CEO Elon Musk and President-elect Donald Trump pushed against it. Jared Hill has more from New York.
We will regroup and we will come up with another solution.
House Republicans are scrambling with just hours left to prevent a government shutdown. A last-ditch vote on a GOP measure backed by President-elect Donald Trump failed Thursday evening.
The bill is not passed.
The revised bill was a slimmed-down version of the larger bipartisan spending package that Republican leaders abandoned on Wednesday, bowing to pressure from Trump and his ally, Elon Musk. The latest bill still extended government funding through mid-March, kept billions in disaster aid, as well as assistance for farmers, but it also added Trump's demand to raise the debt ceiling for 2 years before he takes office. GOP leaders blame the Democrats for the impasse, though dozens of House Republicans also voted against the Trump-backed bill.
I'm not going to go vote for another debt ceiling increase without actual specifics on what the cuts will be.
Congressional Democrats and the White House have called on Republicans to take up the original deal.
All they have to do is keep to their word, vote for what they agreed to, and we keep the government open.
The shutdown would come at a high cost to federal workers just before the holidays. The Pentagon says active military personnel could go without a paycheck. So would TSA agents.
It could be very bad if it gets to a point where TSA workers have to choose between, am I going to feed my children, put gas in my car, or come to work because they're without a paycheck. That's definitely going to affect the way that passengers travel throughout the nation.
All during some of the busiest travel days of the year. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Now, 2 Democrats voted in favor of the bill yesterday. Meanwhile, House Speaker Mike Johnson is facing some political blowback over the shutdown showdown on Capitol Hill. Several fellow Republicans are threatening to oppose his bid to keep the gavel when the new Congress starts next year. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. And it's at that time of the year again where we get to see those adorable photos of the little ones with Santa. Starting in Pittsburgh with Aiden Moiser, 8 years old, and Jude Henniger, 3. And they are photographed there with Santa Claus. An adorable photo for sure.
That is so precious, as well as an Arma, Kansas 7-year-old Lael McKibben. This is so cute. There we go. Yeah, we've got the picture up there. I just love seeing pictures like this. You know, 'tis the season. It is a beautiful time of the year. We've got even temperatures that are matching that time of the year, feeling like Christmas outside. So a quick look at your current temperatures right now before we head on to the break. We've got temperatures in the 20s, and coming up here in a bit, I'm going to talk more about these cold temperatures, how long they're going to last, and your long-range forecast all coming up.
Well, Santa traded his reindeers for some rope, and St. Nick rappelled down at Children's Hospital, Colorado to spread a cheer to all the good little boys and girls who are away from home this Christmas. Maggie Wolanski has the details.
'Twas the week before Christmas, and all through this place of care, excitement was brewing in hopes that St. Nick soon would be there. He's making his rounds high in the sky at Children's Hospital, Colorado, thanks to an assist from the Aurora Police Department SWAT team.
This is a real-life training scenario for them, but it's also a great day to spread some holiday cheer.
Milk and cookies keep Santa well fed.
My belly's huge.
As he waves to the children with a wink in his eye and twist of his head.
It makes us feel good. This is definitely the best day our SWAT officers are going to have. Certainly we can't control a lot of things that happen around our community, but we can control how we contribute to the community.
Santa's elves are ready to spread holiday cheer to all those down below. Giving little Carolina and her mom the best holiday gift they could ask for.
Because I get to see my baby smile.
Making a holiday hospital memory filled with joy.
It's very special because we don't want to be here. So having something like this for the kids can look forward to and be a little bit happy makes me happy.
And as he sprang to his sleigh, Santa's crew was ready to visit no matter where the good little boys and girls of the world may be this Christmas.
It's very special. I think sometimes it can serve as just a distraction, but also a little bit of a taste of being at home, you know, just having that holiday spirit around you during this time of year.
Now, typically the Aurora Police SWAT team dresses as superheroes to rappel down the hospital as part of training. Now let's check in with Chloe for a quick look at your forecast.
Well, we're still hanging around in the 20s, the lower 20s right now. We're still going to stay cold later on this afternoon. Coming up, I'm going to give you your long range forecast and what you need to know for the rest of the day and the rest of the weekend ahead. Well, welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We're starting really chilly this morning in the 20s, and for a lot of folks, we haven't even seen our morning low quite yet as a cold front's still pushing through, but we see lower 20s up in our northwestern counties of the 4 states down in southeastern Kansas. We're still seeing cold temperatures and heavy or moderate winds with some upwards of 25 to 30. Some folks could see up to 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this. Our feel like temperatures because of that are in the single digits across the board, and even this afternoon afternoon, we'll only get up into the 20s in terms of our feel-like temperatures. Our actual temperatures will be about 10 degrees warmer than this, but still feeling like the 20s. Now, our winds consistently anywhere from 15 upwards of 20 miles per hour across the board. Some places a little more calm, localized areas like Fort Scott only at 11 miles per hour, but still a notable wind all across the 4 states right now. We've got those wind gusts upwards of 25 to 30 miles per hour right now. But our wind gusts are going to be around 11 a.m. They're going to be around 20 miles per hour. So calming down a little bit around lunchtime and a little bit before that. Again, that northerly wind will be with us throughout the afternoon. As those kiddos are heading out to the bus stop this morning, again, 23 degrees as you're heading off this morning, but we're only going to warm up into the 30s, 36 degrees for your high this afternoon. Sunny skies all throughout your afternoon. However, when you're planning out this afternoon ahead of you, make sure that you're bundling up because those temperatures only going to go up into the 30s, mid 30s, 36 for your high this afternoon. Northerly winds anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour. This evening, that will calm down just a little bit. Easterly winds will really begin to ramp up this evening, and then they'll calm down pretty much less than 5 miles per hour. So it'll be relatively calm later on this evening. So the winds that you'll have to worry about are really this morning and into the early afternoon hours. This evening will dip down into the 20s by about 8 p.m. So it's going to be chilly out there all throughout the afternoon, but very frigid once again later on tonight and overnight tomorrow. Now, here's a look at your overall 7-day forecast. We've got quite a few things going on right now. Saturday, Sunday, 45 degrees, 51 degrees, but then here's what we're tracking overall. We've got a couple rounds. Round one's going to start on Monday into Tuesday. 2 chances, 40% on both of those days. Look at how much we're going to warm up throughout the week. 50 degrees until Friday, we'll see a warm up even more, 64 degrees, Saturday 63. But on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, we have chances for rain. We've been talking about a chance for rain on Christmas Eve for quite a while, but the models are now showing there's a chance for rain on Christmas Day as well, mainly in the morning hours, and we'll see a break before we get to Thursday. And eventually into Friday, those percentages will go up a little bit more Friday morning. Then we'll see a break on Saturday and into Sunday. 63 degrees Saturday, 55 on Sunday, and then into Monday we'll start our week pretty calm, our last week of 2025.
All right, well, topping Health Watch this morning, elderly people are healthier today than they were in previous generations. A study by Columbia University looked at people in England and found both physical and mental functioning have improved for older people. Medical advances and improvements in education and nutrition are likely the main reasons. Well, more and more Americans are living in homes without running water. A study published in Nature Cities found high housing costs and expenses are leading to low-income people in major cities being unable to afford water. The problem has been getting worse since the economic crash of 2008. Access to safe drinking water is key to health and hygiene. You're still deciding what to ask Santa for this season. Well, if you're one of the many people suffering from poor sleep, some have been seeking relief from weighted blankets. But do they actually provide any benefits? Well, Marianne Rafferty takes a closer look.
Besides typically getting colder around the holidays, this season can also get stressful, with various party, travel, and financial obligations weighing many people down. To help increase warmth, reduce anxiety, and bolster better sleep, some people turn to weighted blankets. But how effective are they?
There's not a large amount of studies on weighted blankets. There's a few out there, particularly children with autism, adult populations that have, let's say, anxiety disorders.
Even with the minimal research, some doctors like Neil Walia, sleep medicine expert at the University of California, Los Angeles, identify common themes.
For the most part, it was either beneficial or neutral.
Weighted blankets can contain glass beads, pellets, and other fillings that give them bulk. When it comes to how they can possibly induce peace, Dr. Walia says there's 2 schools of thought. The first can apply to folks who report feeling restless in bed.
And the idea is that whenever you're using what's called deep pressure touch or pressure stimulation, the parasympathetic system, which is your rest and digest system, is activated.
Secondly,
it, in a similar sense of a hug, kind of tells your body to start producing oxytocin, which is a chemical that's also this endogenous anti-anxiety chemical.
Weighted blankets, meanwhile, should not be used for babies or toddlers because they can restrict breathing. When it comes to how heavy a blanket should be, doctors recommend picking one that's roughly 10% of your body weight.
And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, Bath & Body Works gets ready to set up shop at a new location in Pittsburgh.
We've got a frigid Friday ahead of us. I'll have all the details on that coming up.
Plus, kids at Carthage Elementary School get to show off their business skills.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 6:29. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chloe Arroyo. It is a Friday. It's almost the weekend,
Yes.
so thank goodness.
Finally a Friday. You know, we have loved having you with us all week, Chloe. So,
It's been so
we
fun.
normally celebrate Friday a lot here, as you folks at home know, but we're also going to miss you so much.
I'm
We've
going to
enjoyed
miss all of
having you.
this. I am so sad. This is my last day here for the break, and then off to school once again. So, you know how
Finish
that
out
goes.
strong.
Yeah, let's hope so. So we'll end this day off strong. A cold day indeed for the last day. It's definitely a memorable day in terms of cold temperatures and wind chills. So let's go ahead and take a look at those temperatures right now. We're in the 20s right now. That northerly wind pushing a cold front through still. So some folks, especially in the southern most counties of the 4 states, still haven't even seen their low temperature quite yet. So we've got temperatures in the lower 20s off into our northwestern counties in southeastern Kansas. Yates Center and Iola still at 21 degrees. That's the actual temperature right now, but the feel-like temperature feeling like single digits across the board, and that's going to be the same over the next couple of hours, over the morning hours, and then this afternoon we're only going to reach up feeling like the lower to mid 20s. So a cold morning and a cold day ahead of us indeed. Like I mentioned, we've got those northwesterly winds along with us. This is really contributing to that wind chill value. The higher the winds, the colder the wind chill is going to be because it really just blows you in the face. It's really what your body responds to, not even the actual temperature itself. We're seeing this anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour consistently, but our wind gusts upwards of 25 to 30 miles per hour, and that's going to continue over the next couple of hours till about 11 o'clock. Around lunchtime, we'll see that die down to where our wind gusts will be up to about 20 miles per hour. So still a very, very heavy wind with us over the next couple of hours. We'll eventually start to calm down later on this afternoon, but above all, still a chilly morning and a chilly day ahead of us. Sunny skies throughout your day as the kiddos are heading out to school. Temperatures still in the lower 20s, again feeling like the single digits with those winds. We'll still have that northerly wind along with us, calming down a little bit around 5 to 10 miles per hour this afternoon. Your high only up to 36 degrees. Now coming up in a bit, we're going to talk more about this frigid Friday. We have a calm weekend ahead of us as well. We'll talk more about that. And then we have lots of rain chances in the forecast, including Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I'll have that updated forecast for you and more coming up.
Chloe, thanks. Well, another business in southeast Kansas will move in a different direction in the new year. Bath & Body Works has begun work on a new location in Pittsburgh. Now, work crews on the scene say they are doing a rebuild of the interior of the former Yummy Buffet. Now, signs announce the location and how future employees can apply. Bath & Body Works in Pittsburgh says it plans to open early 2025. And some big news for a big nationally known brick and mortar business right here in the 4 states. Yesterday, Big Lots announced a previously planned sale agreement has fallen through. The company does, however, say it continues to work on an alternative sale by early January 2025. Now, in the meantime, the company will begin going out of business sales at all remaining store locations to protect its estate's value. Big Lots has stores in both Joplin and Pittsburgh. Well, second grade students at Columbian Elementary School in Carthage put their business skills to the test yesterday afternoon. Now, students created their own stores within their classroom, then opened up for business. First graders then got the chance to walk around each class and buy from each store.
They take away that they can do things. Things are hard and they have to redo and try again, but most of all that they can do what they set their minds to.
Now, teachers say it's the perfect opportunity to introduce students to the world of economics. Well, students from Southwest City Elementary in McDonald County are embracing the spirit of giving this holiday season. 3rd through 5th graders took to Main Street in Southwest City for some Christmas caroling. Now, teachers say this may be the only chance for some students to participate in a holiday tradition that connects them with their neighbors and the season's true meaning.
They were great. I mean, they sang great, they sounded great, they behaved well, and they left us little notes telling us how much they enjoyed singing for everybody.
Leaders and businesses say they loved how the students conducted themselves throughout the event. Well, Homer Lesor is a World War II veteran who will celebrate his 100th birthday on Christmas Day. KOAM's Anthony Saviello went to visit him before his big day and shares the stories of life that spans a century.
We left out of there with equal to a broadside.
Homer Lesur's time is now spent telling the stories of his life, 100 years worth.
We went out 4.5-hour mission. 5.5. Mm-hmm. Got back and thought we was going to get to land. Darn if they didn't give us another 5.5 hours, so I got 11 hours in the first time I was up.
The World War II vet no longer finds himself in the tail gunner seat of a plane. Instead, it's a recliner, carefully positioned to see the whole room.
And makes you float. It really does.
His perfectly polished shoes are now replaced by a pair of slippers, and his uniform now replaced by a flannel and a warm blanket. 100 years of blessings.
I have been blessed. The Lord spared me, gave me the time to spend here, and I hope I've done what He had in mind for me to do. If I've accomplished that, then I'm a happy trooper.
And memories of ones he lost.
Was getting ready for the wake mission. And he came over and he put his arm around me and he said, I want you to know I appreciate you and all you've gone through with me. And he said, I have a lot of respect for you and I thank you for backing me up. So another 15, 20 minutes he was gone, bless his heart.
Happy birthday!
He may no longer be in a plane.
Happy birthday to you!
But if you can't tell by his smile,
I appreciate it.
He's still flying high. In Neosho, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Homer was visited yesterday by family and got the chance to meet a few active duty service members. Well, some big seasonal news coming out of the Missouri Department of Agriculture. The Show Me State has approved livestock movement permit papers for 9 reindeer. Mr. Claus from the North Pole applied for the permits, and the reindeer Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, and Rudolph have been approved for healthy flight. The department has recommended rations of Missouri hay for the reindeer and milk and cookies for Mr. Claus. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Well, millions of Americans are expected to hit the stores for last-minute shopping. And we have a cold and sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Chloe Arroyo in the Sky Watch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. And Consumer Watch this morning. With less than a week to go before Christmas, Teamsters Union members walked off the job at several Amazon delivery centers around the country on Thursday. Now, the union says its members voted to authorize the strike due to the company's unwillingness to negotiate a contract over demands for better pay and conditions. Now, Amazon says its delivery drivers are not direct employees, but drivers for third-party businesses. Now, the company also says it doesn't expect the strikes to impact deliveries. Well, this is the last weekend before Christmas, and according to the National Retail Federation, more than 157 million Americans are expected to head out for some last-minute gift shopping on Super Saturday. And the survey found that more than 69 million people will do a combo of online and in-store shopping, while nearly 50 million people will shop in the stores only. 38 million shoppers plan to buy their items online only. And this could help pay for some last-minute gifts. Tonight's Mega Millions drawing is an estimated $825 million. Now, that's the 7th biggest jackpot in the game's history, with a cash option of more than $382 million. And that's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chloe with another look at your forecast.
Well, thank you, Elise. Yeah, this morning we've got temperatures in the 20s, lower 20s for our further northwestern counties up in Iola, Yates Center, around Fort Scott. You guys are all 21 degrees right now. Expect those temperatures to still be on the decline over the next couple of hours by a couple degrees. Our feel-like temperatures, however, going to be in the teens to the single digits going on right now across the board. Iola, Yates Center feeling like 8 degrees, and that's going to continue over the next couple of hours and even this afternoon. We're going to feel like temperatures in the 20s. So a chilly day ahead of us for sure. Now we have those winds along with us. That's really contributing to the wind chill factor. So our winds right now anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour. A couple folks Stockton, Yates Center seeing about 16 miles per hour right now. So a notable wind as well as that wind gust upwards of 25 to 30 miles per hour. Now around 11 a.m. around lunchtime we'll see those wind gusts upwards of about 20 miles per hour, and it'll slowly decrease from there throughout the afternoon. As those kiddos are heading out to class this morning, off to that bus stop, temperatures still in the lower 20s, 23 degrees. We'll have sunny skies, but that wind will be along with us. So our wind chill will still be in the lower teens, upper single digits. We're talking 8, 9, 10 degrees out there is what it's going to feel like. This afternoon, we'll feel like the 20s, but our actual temperature will be in the 30s. Again, we'll have that wind with us, but it'll start to slowly die down later on. Here's what we're tracking, that Frigid Friday. Coming up in a bit, I'm going to talk more about that and more details on that. And stick around for that forecast on the calm weekend ahead that we have, as well as the chances for rain. Got that updated forecast for you, including Christmas Eve rain and eventually Christmas Day rain as well. But hey, you know what? It's almost time to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries, and they're up right after the break. But first, let's see what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Gail King. Coming right up on CBS Mornings, Tyler Perry is directing a new film. Tells the story of the only women's Army Corps of unit of color to be stationed in Europe during World War II. Bet you've never heard of them. Very important work. We sat down with Tyler and the star Kerry Washington to discuss the importance of this movie, and they even shared behind-the-scenes stories from the set. The movie's so good, and they are the best. That's coming right up on CBS Mornings.
It's time to celebrate some birthdays here in the 4 states, starting with Nevaeh Keeling, turning 14 today in Parsons.
And 2 is better than 1. Happy birthday to Marshall and Hallie Fagan. Their twin birthday. Happy birthday from Mom and Dad.
And a happy birthday to Dakota Berry, turning 28 today in Miami. It says here, happy birthday, love Mom, Dad, and Parker.
And happy 31st birthday to Michael Zimmerman from Humboldt, Kansas.
And turning 32 today, a happy birthday to Nicholas Buchanan in Chanute.
And it's your 46th birthday, Sean Schreiber, all the way from Chanute, Kansas. Love from your family.
And over in Iola, a happy 55th birthday to Dimity Lowell.
Once again from Chanute, Kansas, happy 59th birthday to Tracy Rutledge.
And Clyde Stalling celebrating birthday number 80 in Joplin. Happy birthday, Clyde.
And not too far from Clyde, still in Joplin, Missouri, happy 90th birthday to Fem Neely.
And over in Good, Maine, a happy 16th anniversary to Johnny and Jessica Kennedy.
Continuing on with the anniversaries, happy 58th anniversary to Gary and Levon Lavelle from Crestline, Kansas.
And a happy 67th anniversary in Pineville to Don and Doris Schlesman.
And all the way from Chinook, Kansas, happy birthday to Kathy Ford.
And continuing our list with the happy birthday to Landon York in Lawton, Kansas, turning 9 today. Happy birthday.
And continuing on with twins, we've got twin sisters, Paige and Kira Nicholson, their 18th birthday from Fort Scott, Kansas.
Johnny Walling celebrating birthday number 46 today over in Wyandotte. It says here, happy birthday from Izzy and Emmy.
And happy birthday, or excuse me, happy anniversary, happy 20th anniversary to Mike and Hillary Evans from Columbus, Kansas.
And John and Mary Dugan celebrating anniversary number 60, their 60th anniversary. Incredible. Happy anniversary.
And last but not least, we have Norma Dockhow. Happy birthday to you. Hope you have a wonderful day.
That was a fantastic birthday and anniversary list on this Friday morning. Now, if you'd like to celebrate our birthdays and anniversaries with us, you can do so by submitting them to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. Be sure to include those wonderful photos and messages. We sure love seeing them. And to, of course, meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen. And to, of course, include the date of your celebration as well when submitting. Now let's head over to Chloe for a full look at the forecast.
Well, it's a good day to have a birthday because we're heading into the weekend. You know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you got time for celebrations, but you may not want to have those celebrations outdoors, especially today. Those temperatures in the 20s right now. We're only going to reach up into the 30s this afternoon, but we have a cold front still pushing through, lowering our temperatures down into the lower 20s. A couple of temperatures here and there are still decreasing, so a couple folks haven't reached their low for the night quite yet, and we're already in the Friday morning hours. Our feeling temperatures in the single digits in the lower teens for a couple of folks in northeastern Oklahoma, northwestern Arkansas as well, but for the most part, as you get a little further north, we're feeling like 9 degrees in Fort Scott, 9 degrees in Pittsburgh, as well as Webb City right now. So a chilly morning ahead of us, and even this afternoon, we're only going to feel like the lower to mid 20s. So really keep that in mind, especially for the kiddos as they're heading out this morning. We also have that wind with us, a notable pesky wind upwards of 10 to 15 miles per hour across the board right now. This is our consistent wind, a northwesterly wind, keeping us really cold, but our wind gusts along with that 25 to 30 miles per hour right now. Then at 11 o'clock and around lunchtime, we'll start to see that die down a little bit, but not by much. We're still going to see our wind gusts upwards of 20 miles per hour. So those winds are really what's contributing to that wind chill factor. We've got the actual temperatures, which are in the 20s, but when we have that wind, it makes it even more cold or feeling cold out there, and that's what your body really responds to. So as the kiddos are off to school, it's going to feel like those single digits, lower teens, and then this afternoon, our actual temperature will be in the 30s, but again, it's going to feel like the 20s outside. So even a chilly afternoon as they're heading home from school. Planning out your afternoon, again, those temperatures only reaching up into the 30s, 36 for your high today. We'll have sunny skies for your afternoon. We'll have that northerly wind stick around with us, and later on in the evening, we'll switch off to an easterly wind, and once it switches off to more so of an easterly wind, we'll see it begin to die down just a little bit. That wind will be less than 5 miles per hour throughout the evening. Now we'll dip down into the 20s by about 8 p.m. tonight, and our low tonight will be in the lower 20s, 23 degrees for your low in Joplin. Now, here's a look at overall your 7-day forecast. We've got sunny skies over the weekend, Saturday and even into Sunday. Now Monday through Friday, we've got chances for rain every single day next week. Tuesday, Christmas Eve, Wednesday, Christmas Day, we have chances for rain. Now your rain chances on Tuesday are going to be higher than your rain chances on Monday because we'll have showers push through Monday night. That's going to continue into Tuesday, that same system, and that could linger into Wednesday morning. So if anything, you'll see the back end of that system on Tuesday into Wednesday morning for Christmas Day. Now the afternoon on Wednesday we should clear up, but then on Thursday we'll see a second round push through, and that could linger into Friday morning. And then we'll see those temperatures really begin to warm up. 64 degrees for Friday, 63 for Saturday. And then your weekend next weekend, once again, a calm setup, but pretty above average for this time of year. Now coming up when the KOAM morning news switches on over to Fox 14, a Minnesota grocery store sets up to help those in need this holiday season. Stick around, Fox continues.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. The city manager of Coffeyville, Kansas says he will not be presenting a recommendation to city commissioners about the city's relationship with local unions. In the letter, the city manager said he would ask the city to reconsider the city's recognition of the Public Employer-Employee Relations Act. The city manager says he wasn't trying to stop unions in Coffeyville, only the state program. Union leaders say they are now taking part in discussions with the city manager. Well, Big Lots announced a previously planned sale agreement has fallen through. The company does, however, say it continues to work on an alternative sale by early January 2025. Now, in the meantime, the company will begin going out of business sales at all remaining store locations. Big Lots has stores in both Joplin and Pittsburgh. And staff and workers in the Donald E. Clark Justice Center will experience a planned power disruption this morning. Now, that includes the Joplin Police Department. During that time, the public will not have access to the building. The disruption will not affect police patrol or fire operations. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And as you head out the door this morning, you're going to make sure you want to bundle up. Today, even throughout the afternoon, our high only reaching up to 36 degrees. Now later on tonight, we're going to stay clear throughout the afternoon into the evening and overnight. We'll calm down in terms of our winds, but those temperatures reaching down into the lower 20s once again tonight. So a chilly day and a chilly night ahead of us. But hey, we're going to warm up next week, but that does come with a cost. Look how many days, 5 days in a row of rain chances Monday through Friday. That includes Tuesday and Wednesday, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day will have rain chances along with us, and then we're going to eventually warm up into the 60s by the end of next week.
It'll be winter too, officially.
Yes, it will. Sure will be. Doesn't feel like it.
No, not at all. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making roasted winter veggies in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. And this morning, a government shutdown inches closer after House Republicans failed to pass another bill.
Plus, we'll see how cold weather can make you more vulnerable to viruses. But that'll wrap it up for now. We'll see you back here Monday morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.